Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Gachis Kaman TV. The kind of anarchy, the kind of lawlessness, the kind of looting witnessed in this country is on another level. I'm told that tear gas is even being thrown in residential areas where we have children who do not even know what is happening. Ladies and gentlemen, the goons are all over. Goons in Nairobi, goons in the streets, standoff between police and demonstrators. Sometimes police retreating, sometimes the demonstrators retreating. All road crossed. Nairobi CBD, a ghost town. Businesses closed down. It is a war zone, ladies and gentlemen. Kenya is on its knees. Something needs to be done very, very urgently. I don't know what should be done. What do you think should be done to this country, ladies and gentlemen? What is your recommendation? If you ask, for example, to recommend drastic actions that should be done for the country to gain or to go back to normalcy. Because what we are seeing is something that has never been seen before. We have seen even people being killed. There are some reports that some people have died, have been shot by the police. And in this case, you agree with me that the government seems to be working with the goons as it has always been seen, as you have always been lamenting. And we saw even yesterday when they raided the office of the Kenya Human Rights Commission. This is unacceptable. When we have a government working with thugs, when we have a government working with looters, you ask yourself, where are these looters coming from? Where are they? Because when I look at these goons, because some of them you can be able to see them, I wonder because some of them are actually being paraded in the media. And I think it is very, very important for Kenyans to identify them. Let them be identified because they come from somewhere. I'm wondering, I was trying to ask my friend, could the government be actually taking some of these goons from prison? Unajua serikali inaweza kutumia mbinu zozote zile. Don't joke with the government. The government can employ any kind of tactics to deal with demonstrators. No, desperate times call for desperate measures. Kwa sababu ninapotazama vizuri sana naona ya kwamba kuna uwezekano ya kwamba hawa magaidi, hawa majagili ni watu ambao labda wako katika korokoroni, ni watu ambao wameshafungwa, watu ambao hawajali. Na inawezekana ya kwamba they are on a mission. Because remember, the government has not actually arrested these goons. It hasn't. The closest they have come to arresting people who are actually doing this kind of destructions, people who are doing this kind of damage, is to actually try to buy time and take Rigathi Gachagua's, I don't know, an official of DCP party and accuse him of terrorism. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the way to go. This is not the way to go. The real issues must be addressed. And in fact, I also understand that Raila Amolo Odinga could not even be able to attend to his Kamukoji, the so-called Kamukoji, to go and celebrate Sabasaba, because he realized that William Samoei Ruto could not let him go. All the roads to Kamukoji were blocked, so Raila could not be able to go to Kamukoji. So you can see that William Samoei Ruto is not sparing even his closest allies, even people who have been studying with him. So the so-called broad-based government is going to collapse anytime. Because how do you stop Raila from going to Kamukoji? Or was it deliberate, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think it was deliberate that Raila wanted to see the show, or Raila wanted to go there so that people can actually go there and forget the demonstrations? But I was looking at what was happening in UK High Commission in London. And I could see the police. They were very, very happy. They were just they kept a distance as a number of UK demonstrators people were demonstrating around the UK High Commission. And I could see even the policemen had body cameras, which is very, very encouraging. And I think the next president, or not even the next president, Parliament should come up with a law where members of Parliament should pass a law that all policemen be given body cameras, and the body cameras must remain functioning. They must remain operational throughout as long as the policeman is on duty, whether in the operation or wherever he's going. Because especially when you are dealing with the mob, this would actually try to help to tame the extrajudicial killing that we are seeing. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the country is getting out of hand. Things have gotten out of hand. Ladies and gentlemen, when I look at the way the guys are actually dealing with the demonstrators, when I look at the way Kipchumba Murkomen, the interior CS, the way he has been dealing with these issues, I think it is important even to remind our viewers here that I noted the UK people have actually written to ICC. They have actually written to ICC a letter to the prosecutor asking for the prosecutor to start investigating what is happening in Kenya. And they have named William Samoei Ruto, they have named Kipchumba Murkomen, they have named the Deputy Inspector General, the one who said that he has stepped down, and many other leaders, and they are accusing them of crime against humanity. In fact, what is happening in Kenya is crime against humanity. What is happening in Kenya calls for international intervention. What is happening in Kenya calls for drastic action. Because you see, we cannot continue like this. I've always said that, the problem comes with the way we deal with things. The so-called modus operandi, the way of doing things. When you look at William Samoei Ruto's, the way of doing things is wanting. When you look at his cabinet, the way of doing things is wanting. When you look at the policemen, they are supposed to maintain law and order. And what would be very, very difficult, ladies and gentlemen, if they just allowed people to demonstrate and then go home in the evening. What would you see? Because when I look at the true Gen Zs, the true Gen Zs are not interested with looting. The true Gen Zs are not interested with the destruction of properties. The properties are being destroyed by goons. The properties are being destroyed by thugs. The properties are being destroyed as the police watch. This is very, very disheartening. What we are witnessing, because there are demonstrations all over. I think the only place I've not seen demonstrations in Kisumu. Maybe those of you who come from Kisumu, those of you who are in Kisumu, you can let us know if there were demonstrations in Kisumu, because we saw demonstrations all over Rift Valley, they were there, Kiambu, it was an epicenter, Nairobi, all over, Nakuru, no place had been left out. And I think we need to rethink our way of doing things, and calm is what Kenyans need, because I think today we lost a lot of money. A lot of money has been lost as we continue demonstrating, as the government continue mishandling this kind of situation. I don't know what you think. Maybe you can let us know what happened, where you come from, if there were demonstrations. Have a blessed evening.